Hello everybody, today, I just had this game in my Iowa here. That was a pretty spectacular ending for me. I did two things that I thought were kinda cool this game, and I did it all right in a row at the end, so chances are you guys are all gonna skip right to the end here, and I don't blame you, but anyway, let's just get straight into the battle. I'm in a division here with, guy called M Dabs. He's a super awesome cruiser player. Love playing with him. And I also got a working girl again here. I think I've had him in a previous video on a Dmitry Donskoy. So we got Dabs in an Alaska, a working girl in a Donskoy. These guys have radar, so in a game with 3 destroyers on the enemy team, a Fletcher and 2 Ostergotlands, it'll be nice having some radar to kind of manage those cruisers, their destroyers, and maybe keep them off of my back a bit this game here. Let me make my mini-map a little smaller. Get it out of the way a little bit more for you guys. But, yeah, so I'm in my Iowa. Absolutely love the Iowa. The Iowa is super well-rounded. It's got a good top speed at like 33 knots. Good gun range. I don't have the range mod on it just because I don't think it needs it. But if you do have the range mod, I think it's 27 kilometers and then like 31 or something with a spotter. So what's that? 5.4. So it'd be 32.4 kilometers with a spotter. Something stupid crazy for a tier 9 battleship. But yeah, I'm gonna head off to this north flank here. This map. That side looks like it's gonna need some support. All that's over there is in Minnesota, so I decided to go out this way. I'm kind of looking at my friend's camo here, zooming in and out. Gets a little obnoxious, but I'm sure we were talking about something in Discord, and I was probably teasing him, maybe saying I was like a dev strike him. He's probably giving me some shit, and I was saying I could give him some shit back, but in some more hefty proportions there. Anyway, we got a Friesland, and like always, take early shots at cruisers or destroyers right off the start of the match, and I connect with 5 shells there for 7,000 damage on that destroyer, on that Ostergotland. Big hit, big hit. Love to see it right off the bat. So, the Ostergotland is now radared. I'm sorry, he's not radared. He should be radared. Yeah, I believe he's radared right now. So he's just going to stay camped behind that island. Anyway, I'm just going to keep shooting at some cruisers, trying to get in some damage at the start, trying to overmatch that Riga's bow. I think these ones might go high. I actually connect pretty good on them. I get 10k. Actually closer to 11k, but that's a little bit from the point. So yeah, I realized that with that Ostergotland pinned behind that island, I can maybe push north, get up here, and then pose a big threat to all these cruisers that are pushing down on this east flank, and that is my goal here. And I shoot at that Azumo from 27 kilometers, or 24 kilometers, I'm sorry, because I figure I got nothing better to shoot at, but of course he throws his engine up onto full speed ahead there the second I shoot, so I'm gonna miss all those, but that's completely fine. Yeah, that's just me checking to see where those shells go, but they went straight into the water, so no connections there. I'm still feeling pretty comfortable here playing aggressive on this flank. They don't really have anything too threatening. They have a Riga, they have that Ostergotland, and yeah, so I'm just trying to play aggressive here. The Azumo is the only thing I can shoot at the moment, so I'm just going to take another little pot shot at him. So right now I see that Jean Bart is my main target, and maybe that Alaska, even if that Alaska tries to show me a little bit too much, but I follow those shells over to that battleship. Get 3 hits, 2 ricochets, nothing crazy, but you know, from 24 kilometers you shouldn't really expect big hits every time. So, this Alaska here is, he fucked up. He is going flat broadside in front of me and Minnesota. He doesn't even know I'm there because I've been dark for a bit, and I connect with him for 20,000 there. Citadel, 1 pen, 2 overpens there, so big hit. That Alaska is going to start feeling very uncomfortable, but now I also got a Jean Bart and that Riga there. That Riga's got torpedoes, so that's the main reason I backed off. I didn't want to try to drive by that Riga and get blapped, so I turn out here. Because I can still overmatch this Alaska's nose, so that's what I'm just going to try to do. I'm just going to try to do as much damage to that Alaska as I can just by overmatching its nose. Maybe getting another Citadel if I'm lucky. Nope, but 9,000 damage, still a good number. If I keep doing that, that Alaska will be dead in maybe 2 or 3 salvos. 2 if I'm lucky. But that Alaska just parks, and I'm just going to keep focusing him down. But I absolutely love the Iowa. It's such a versatile ship. It's, in my opinion, it's the most beautiful ship in the game by far. That Alaska's down to 10,000. My second turret is a little off, so I shoot the first 2. Get some big hits on there. 6k, bring him down to 3,000. He's still healing. He's still on fire, and then I kill him there with that third turret. And now it's just that Riga. I can overmatch the Riga's nose. So I figured, yeah, I might as well shoot him. But then I realized if I shoot him, I'll be giving broadside to Jean Bart. And if I give broadside to Jean Bart, he'll pop a reload boost and absolutely obliterate me off the map. So say, alright, let's just turn out. Let's call it good here. I'm going to flip my ship around. I'm going to turn my turrets back around because I want to be going this way rather than this way. So I need to flip my turrets around if I want to do that. Eat a little bit more chip damage from the Jean Bart there, but nothing too serious. So now I'm just trying to work this Riga over, waiting for my turrets to rotate. I don't really want to give broadside to him because that Riga's got some pretty decent AP, especially at this kind of range. He'll hit me for maybe 7,000-8,000 damage a salvo, and that's just damage I don't want to be taking. I'm telling this Minnesota to get back right now because he's pushing a Riga, a Jean Bart, and then there's also a destroyer up there. I believe that was the probably the Fletcher up there. So I'm telling this Minnesota to just turn around as fast as possible. So I really don't want him to die this early in the game because we're still only 6 minutes in and we haven't lost a battleship yet. So I figured if I try to keep him alive, maybe give him some reason, he might just listen. Anyway, I see another Alaska here that's going broadside, so I figured why not take a good little salvo at him, see if I can't maybe kill him outright. Those shots look really good, but I only managed 1 Citadel. I think a couple of those landed just a little too low. The Alaska is pretty hard to Citadel. It's really only possible if they're turning into you. And sure enough, there's our Minnesota dead. I didn't know. There we go. Yeah, I even told that Minnesota that there's a DD in front of him. He eats 2 torps, and I think that Minnesota finishes him off. I can't remember if it was the Minnesota that just killed him, but he was gonna eat those torps regardless, and he was gonna die to him. So he was trying, but he tried too late. I was warning him earlier. He didn't see my warning, so that's kind of what happens. And yeah, look at that. With my spotter and without the range mod, I get 29.5 kilometers max gun range, and I can even get an extra 20% on top of that if I go for the range mod on Iowa, but really, you don't need it. Not at all. I shoot a salvo at that Izumo that was way the hell out there. Not really expecting much from it, but you know, if I get a little chip damage, I wouldn't be upset, just because he was the only target that I could really shoot. Yeah, I get one more overpin there. Now it's just this Minnesota who's gonna... He turned away from me, and he turned into those torpedoes. I think he was more scared of me than he was those torpedoes, so... Honestly, it's probably smart, because those were Ostergotland torps, and they don't really hit hard. And Iowa guns certainly hit hard, so... I don't know if that's what the Montana was doing intentionally, but if that's what he was doing intentionally, it was certainly the best play he could make there. Taking 2 torps instead of possibly a Citadel or 2 from Iowa is the way to go. Anyway, now I'm just trying to pepper this Minnesota superstructure with some AP. Keep him uncomfortable, keep him running, and I can always run him down later on because I am quite literally 10 knots faster than him, so if I ever need to kill him, I can always just chase after him later on in the game. It's not a big worry. I see this Jean Bart here, and I get a little greedy. If I was smart, I would have held the shot, but I said, alright, you know, maybe he's going slow enough, maybe I can eke him through the gap, but of course, I'm just a second too late, and here that Ostergotland pops up. That's been out on this flank for a while. I got Nabuki here. Do torp screening, he's got Hydro running, and then I have my Dmitry Donskoy behind me with radar, so this This Ostergotland, in theory, should be very dead. I try to pepper him with some AP here. It's just what I had loaded. But of course the Ibuki gets him with a good salvo of HE. So we get that Ostergotland off the map. And I do manage to dodge all those torps there, which was very lucky. And now we have this Jean Bart. Right now what I'm saying to my teammates is, hey, I have a Dmitry Donskoy, or my division mates, I have Donskoy and Alaska, who have a decent amount of health still right now, going up against a full health Jean Bart with the help of an Ibuki. So I figured you guys should be able to deal with that Jean Bart. So I shoot one salvo at his kind of his broadside there. And I was going to leave him for my teammates there to finish him up while I could push across the map and start working the rest of their team over. That Jean Bart, I see he's given another little, he's starting to try to give me another little broadside here, so I figured, you know, why not get a little bit more extra damage and let's speed up this fight, maybe save my Ibuki there. So I take the shot. I think, yeah, it was okay. I got 4 shell hits. It's about half of all my shells. Threw some good little damage. And now I'm feeling pretty comfortable with my teammates for there being able to finish them off. 3 cruisers against 1 battleship at low health is should certainly be a winning engagement there. And right coming up here is when I start doing something a little crazy. I see that Izumo, he hasn't really done any maneuvering this game, so I just throw some lead right in front of him there, hoping he'll run into those. And then this Minnesota's kind of been floating. I see he's aiming up at my broadside, so I'm trying to turn back into him as fast as possible. And I see this torpedo. I realize it's going pretty slow, so I'm assuming that's probably Fletcher. I count 4 there, so that's got to be Fletcher for how slow it's going. And then he pops up right in front of me as well here, so I'm trying to help out our team kill secure the Fletcher. He goes dark here, but I do a little drag shot on him, trying to get just at least 1 hit there. I get 1 for the kill. I kill the Fletcher there with a blind shot, and then I don't know who's Meme Flirp. 2 pens for 3k damage. I don't know. He's in Izumo. Probably shot like a superstructure where it was all saturated. Anyway, I'm coming up around on this Minnesota. He's down low. I figured I might as well finish him off. So I blind fire at him, and it really is only going to take 1 shell hit to kill him. It actually took 2 there, but I think the overpen came first. So I get another blind fire for a kill there. That's 2 salvos, 2 kills so far. And I figured, you know, why not? All their teams are pretty clumped together, and they're in a pretty big crossfire, so I might as well keep pushing forward, maybe take the A-cap. Keep working this crossfire. Anyway, a little chip damage there. Nothing too crazy. Most of those hit the island, but you know, I'm not going to be doing anything for the next 30 seconds, so I figured might as well take that damage while I can. And I see Izumo way the hell out there. Figured, wait for him to turn out. Missouri's going to be behind that island, because I'm not going to be able to beat him. Eat some sap rounds there, and I know that cruiser's pretty close, because those came down pretty flat, so I figured if I eke around this island, there's going to be a Brindisi popping up, and sure as shit, there's a Brindisi popping up, and he doesn't want any part of me. So he's starting to turn out, and that is my favorite time to shoot at cruisers, right when they're turning out, because you know right where to aim, and I get a double citadel and I take that cruiser out. So far in 4 salvos, my last 4 salvos, I've gotten 3 kills, and now I look over at this Izumo, and he's turning into me, which he's lifting his cheek up out of the water. So it should be easier to citadel. So I take a pop shot at him, seeing if I can't get some pretty good damage. And those look beautiful for 3 citadels, 43,200 damage for the Kraken right there, and a kill. So far I'm on 5 salvos for 4 kills. And all were pretty good damage shots. Well, maybe not the Minnesota, but you know, that was a blind fire, so I think that makes up for it. Anyway, this Jean Bart is showing me broadside, so I get a little overdo it there. I was trying to go 5 kills and 6 salvos, but I aimed just a little too low. I could have killed him there, but I didn't. But anyway, my DD there is going to take him out with torpedoes, and that's going to be the end of the game. Alright, so I blanked out on this on the last time. Alright, so here's our post-battle results. We did 212,000 damage, almost 213,000. Nothing too crazy, but it's certainly a pretty good game. And I had a really good situation there at the end. So I had 75 shell hits, 5 kills, 8 citadels. Very nice amount of citadels. I got a Confederate, I got a High Cal, got a Kraken, I got a Dreadnought, and I also got a Dev Strike there. 500,000 credits, 15,000 free XP. I'm sorry, 4,000 free XP, 15,000 ship XP, and I believe it was 2,600 base XP. I think it was 2,500 and maybe 86 base XP. I forgot to screenshot that, but I think that was roughly where I was at for base XP. But certainly an amazing game. I positioned really well. I played it pretty well with my division mates. We worked over that Jean Bart pretty well at the end there, as well as that Ostergotland right off the start with my division mate popping a radar, I believe. But yeah, certainly good stats. I'll open up my port here and show you guys what I use for an Iowa build. Alright, so here we are in port looking at the Iowa. By far, in my opinion, the sexiest ship in the game. It's got some amazing curves, and it has just a beautiful looking superstructure, amazing looking turrets. I love kind of the hexagonal kind of appearance these give off with those 6 sides. I love kind of just the all-around look on them. They kind of look like the some of the Soviet heavy cruiser turrets, the Stalingrad in particular. Just love the look of these turrets. They're so nice, and the gun noise on the Iowa is just music to my ears. And of course, the horn. Oh, so bassy, so delicious. There aren't too many ships in the game that get a horn that sound like that. And when you do get it, I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Because when you get to the Montana gets kind of the little cruiser horn. Just super annoying. But anyway, little sidetrack there. Of course, the horn doesn't really matter. It's just more of like a preference, I guess. But anyway, moving on from the sex appeal department, you get an amazing armor scheme for a Tier 9 battleship. Nothing too tanky, but it's very versatile. You get 32mm plating and everywhere that it matters. You get 19mm on the superstructure. The superstructure is a little chunky, and you will eat a good amount of HE spam there, so just be ready for it. But it does saturate pretty fast, so not the worst thing. You get 38mm of plating on the deck, which is pretty good. You're going to be ricocheting a lot of the AP shot at you if you're angled right. The only things that are going to be able to overmatch you, of course, are the Yamato and Shikishima with their 18.1 inch guns on the Yamato and a bit bigger on the Shikishima. Iowa, just such a good armor layout. Of course, you can get Citadel in the Iowa. You do get a waterline Citadel here. But on the downside, if you're getting shot at from range, from plunging fire, if you get shot in the side plating here, and it gets through this this armor belt, on the other side of that armor belt, there's only 25mm of plating in the front and the back, and 16 in the center. So if you get plunging fire coming in from big AP shells, and they get through that armor belt on the side, they're going to be able to overmatch straight into your Citadel and do some pretty good damage. So from long ranges, certainly angle in the Iowa if you're facing up against the likes of Kremlin or Thunderer. Keeping angled in the Iowa is essential, and it is essential in every ship. But just thought I would drill that into your guys' heads just a little bit more. On top of the armor scheme, the Iowa gets these beautiful, beautiful triple turrets of 16-inch guns. You get 3 of them for 9 guns in total. Spin around the ship here. Get back to that first turret. Why isn't it showing me the first turret? There we go. Okay. There we go. Anyway, you get 3 triple turrets of 16-inch guns. Fairly accurate. They're not as accurate as Thunderer, but they are some of the more accurate battleship guns at Tier 9. With the American guns, you get the super heavy AP shells. So the 16-inch guns, once you Citadel ships, do feel more like 18-inch guns. I think the Kremlin is a pretty close comparison. Yeah, for the Kremlin having 18-inch guns, it only does, I think, 900 more damage, or is that 1,000 even? 13.5. 13.5 was 14.5, yeah, so it's 1,000 more damage for an extra 2 inches on the gun caliber. The Iowa's AP hits crazy hard for 16-inch guns. Those super heavy AP shells really, really do work against broadside ships and even nose-in cruisers. So when you're playing Iowa, keep that AP loaded 95% of the times, because you're going to be able to do damage to just about anything you're looking at. The overpen damage on the Iowa is quite good. So, you know, if you do overmatch something, you're still doing almost 1,400 damage or 1,400 damage to something, and that's a pretty good amount of damage for a single shell hit. Even against like a destroyer or something, if you don't have time to switch over to AP, or I'm sorry, if you don't have time to switch over to HE, even shooting AP at them is going to do a lot of damage. So, keep AP loaded 95% of the times. The only times you should be loading to HE is if you know you're going to be facing a destroyer, or if you're being rushed down by a Kremlin or something along those lines and they're not giving you a cheek to shoot at or anything like that. The Iowa is all around probably one of the best battleships at Tier 9. It doesn't do one task really well. It does all tasks very well. So, the guns hit hard. The armor is strong. Not unbreakable, but it is strong. And it has a good amount of health, and it has a good amount of health with almost 80,000. And it goes pretty fast, 33 knots, 34.6 with the speed flag. The rudder shift is a little lengthy, but it's not uncomfortable. 17 seconds is a bit on the longer side, but if you kind of pay attention to your map and keep kind of like situational awareness of where all the enemy ships are, where torpedo lanes are, a 17.1 second rudder shift time is certainly manageable. So, yeah, let's I think that's enough talking about the ship, and I can just get straight into the build here. I'm really cheap, so I kind of skipped the range mod when I went through my Iowa here, but we have the seat hull, very nice, you need it. Propulsion mod, very good, you need it. When you're getting up to 33 knots in a battleship, that's just stupid fast, so having that versatility and being able to retreat or push or reposition, being able to go 33 knots is certainly nice at Tier 9. For the upgrades, main armament mod 1, I've said it 100 times, when you're playing battleships, your biggest advantage is having a massive alpha strike, so just one devastating strike, one devastating salvo. And in order to do that, you need your guns to be online. So keeping your guns up and working is essential when you're playing a battleship. I haven't been detonated in Iowa, and if you're scared you're going to be detonated, don't use this. Throw on a detonation flag. They're dirt cheap, and I don't know, I bet you I have like probably over 500 of those just laying around and I never use them. Auxiliary Armaments Mod 1, don't use it. This is more for secondary battleship builds and stuff like that. Damage Control System Mod 1, certainly the better two here. Reducing the fire damage you're going to be taking in is certainly nice, because the Iowa is more of a mid-range ship, maybe between the... I bet you I'm happiest in Iowa between 10 and 14 kilometers, and in that range you're going to be getting shot at by a lot of HE, so reducing the amount of fires that are set on your ship is certainly awesome. And then for the third slot here, I'm cheap and I didn't get the range mod, so I got it over here. I got Artillery Plotting Room Mod 1 in order to kind of counterbalance this over here. But if I wasn't cheap, I'd get this, and then I would get AA Guns Mod 1 and just make your AA work a little bit better. However, Main Battery Mod 2 certainly isn't a bad idea. Reducing your turret rotation down a little bit faster, but I think the Iowa's turrets do turn fast enough. It has a 38.3 second 180 degree turn time. That's certainly manageable. Nothing too long. So if you're really annoyed with carriers, pick up AA Guns Mod 2. Otherwise, if you don't really care about carriers, Main Battery Mod 2 is also a good option. Or if you want to be that crazy sniper and be able to shoot 29 kilometers base, keep Artillery Plotting Room Mod 1. Damage Control System Mod 2 in slot 4. I find that if you are staying up to date with the minimap and keeping that situational awareness all the time, knowing where torps could be coming from, you don't need steering gears. You shouldn't need steering gears if you know where enemy destroyers are, where they could be, and where torpedoes potentially are coming from. Steering gears Mod 1 can be nice in some situations, but Damage Control System Mod 2 is good in just about all situations. In slots, was that 5? Yeah, slot 5, Concealment System Mod 1. It's really the only one that's worth its time in the Iowa. So, bringing your detection range down to 12.7 kilometers is super nice. For comparison, the Thunderer, which is infamous for being able to blip in and out of existence, has 12.3 kilometers detection range. So you are almost on par with Thunderer for detectability range. Now, with a 12.7 kilometer detection range, you could literally charge an enemy team, get up to 13 kilometers from the nearest cruiser, get detected, blap them through the nose, turn around, go dark, and start kiting and rehealing. I wouldn't recommend that, but you could do it. Slot 6 here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Artillery Plotting Room Mod 2 is really the only option if you're sane. Either if you want to do some weird kind of brawling stuff in Iowa, Main Battery Mod 3 might be the better option, but more often than not, in Iowa you're going to be at mid to long ranges, so reducing the dispersion of your shells is the better option here. Because that 11% reduction to your dispersion is super nice to have. It makes it so you can actually be accurate out to that 29 kilometer base range if you use both the range mods here. And you can do some pretty crazy stuff. I think I dev struck, I think it was a tier 10 carrier from 27 kilometers in the Iowa one time. That was a while ago, but with that range mod, your shells will be pretty consistent with your dispersion. Your shells will be pretty tight most of the time. That's a rundown of the upgrades here. Of course, you do have the option of a fighter here, but spotting aircraft, I say, is just a better option. It kind of makes it so you can see over islands and shoot ships that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see. Plus, the AA on the Iowa is good enough to make the fighter not really necessary. Alright, now let's look at a commander build. And of course, since the Iowa is pretty much the jack-of-all-trades battleship at tier 9, you'd want to use the jack-of-all-trades battleship build, just a super general battleship build. Priority target, expert marksman, adrenaline rush, superintendent, basics of survivability, fire prevention, and concealment expert. This is just a well-rounded battleship captain. It makes it so you can do everything a little bit better. You can do tanking better with superintendent, basics of survivability, fire prevention, and concealment. That's all for tanking. Priority target. If you're newer to the game, priority target is it's essential if you're newer to the game. Knowing how many ships are targeting you is knowledge to new people that is just, it's almost overpowered for a 1-point skill. Super good. Otherwise, if you're really good at the game and you know how many ships are shooting at you without even having the marker, preventative maintenance isn't a bad option. You don't need expert loader because, like I said, 95% of the time you're going to be shooting AP, and the HE on the Iowa isn't too great, so expert loader isn't really worth the investment. Yeah, that's it for a commander build. Like I said earlier, Iowa is by far the sexiest ship in the game, at least in my opinion. It's got curves where ships just need curves. That long, slender bow coming to that point is just so beautiful. The Iowa, its audio design, everything on it just makes it such a satisfying ship to play. But I love this ship so much. For a tier 9 battleship, being this consistent is just almost a dream. But yeah, I suppose I'll wrap up the video here. I think I've garbled on enough talking about this ship. If you guys have any questions about the Iowa or any other ship in particular in the game, or if you guys want me to cover something that I might have, certainly leave a comment and I'll try to get around to doing that. Otherwise, if you guys have a replay you'd like me to critique, you can send me the replay file in an email to my email that's listed on my About tab. If you go to my YouTube page, click the About tab, and my email will be listed there. Just send me a file there if you guys want me to critique anything. I will certainly make videos. My main goal to this channel is kind of trying to improve the general player base. So I think the best way in doing that right now, when I'm this small, is by critiquing replays and giving kind of one-on-one advice. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.